We now move on to Senegal. A coalition of 48 civil society organizations in the West African sub-region under the aegis of West Africa Democracy Solidarity Network, or DEMOS, which is a national and transnational group of CSOs, have joined in condemnation of the postponement of the Senegalese presidential election earlier scheduled for February 25 by President Macky Sall. A statement by the communications officer for DEMOS, Jonah Eledi, said the action of President Sall with parliamentary backing has thrown the country into a needless political and constitutional crisis and represents a disappointing setback for Senegal. What DEMOS says it is, and I quote, a blot on the image of a country that has made steady and exemplary progress in building a stable democratic society underpinned by respect for the rule of law and an unbroken tradition of regular, free, fair, and inclusive elections. Well, let's cross live now to Accra, the capital of Ghana, and speak with Calendar-Osei Kuffour, who is the WADEMOS network coordinator. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us. So just quickly speak with us on this issue.
Thank you very
that you've just issued this statement, and how are the people, the authorities in Senegal receiving your statement at the moment?
Thank you very much. So this statement, good evening to you and your listeners. This statement is in solidarity with civil society organizations in Senegal, and it presents a collective response and voice from over 35 civil society organizations that constitute the network. So it tells you the depth of the interest that civil society organizations are much concerned about the situation in Senegal. Because as WADEMOS, we were in Senegal when this incident happened, and we met civil society organizations that are members of the network, and shared the similar expression and observation that this decision is needless and unwarranted. Unwarranted in the sense that all the institutions are functioning, and it was just on the eve of the campaign that the president declared made this declaration, and as such, it threw the electoral process into jeopardy, and it threatens the stability of Senegal. We are monitoring the developments currently, and we have also noticed that some opposition members have been arrested. We are monitoring, and we are working with civil society organizations in Senegal and across the sub-region, and at the appropriate time, the needed response, depending on how the situation is addressed. We also recognize that ECOWAS is intervening in the interest of the sub-region. So we are still monitoring developments in the country.
All right, just before I let you go, talk to us about talks here and there that Macky Sall is actually planning to have a third term, because his term should have expired in April. But with this situation now, we don't know what is going to happen between April and December. Does that mean that he's subtly got a third term through the back door? Or how do we describe this situation?
In fact, we add our voice to the fact that the constitutional coup, in the sense that it's unwarranted, as we indicated in our statement. And earlier on, President Macky Sall had indicated that he's not going to go for a third term bid. A lot of people were a bit doubtful with this declaration when he made it last July. So we were all observing development to see how it's, and it has really confirmed some of the suspicions and fears that a lot of citizens or people harbored when he made that bold declaration. I think Macky Sall should allow the institutions to work, withdrawing the decree and indicating Parliament to go ahead and calling for a national dialogue using this unilateral position, which is less consultative. For me, it is threatening the stability of the situation in Senegal. It's an attempt to subvert the constitution, and because the constitution doesn't make clear provisions for your term. So this is not a situation that requires that Macky Sall extend his term beyond the April deadline mandate. So I agree with you on the position that he said that this is a subtle way for him to extend his office. And we are calling on ECOWAS to apply the relevant normative principle, the ECOWAS democracy and good governance, in a very justified and a very balanced way that will promote the needed trust and confidence among citizens of West Africa.
All right, Paul, we must thank you so much. Paul is the WADEMOS coordinator, for helping us to understand all the issues that we've heard coming out of Senegal.